The thought, whenever something bad happens, they should just relax, take in the situation, and then normally rationally act to it.
If I bring it back to cybersecurity, what does cyber resilience mean to you?
Cyber resilience means that you don't assume that you can eliminate all the risks. Let's start with that, because it's a bit more complex than in your personal life, because in your personal life you just make a decision. With cyber, there's of course lots of components. So basically, the first thing is to realize that you cannot mitigate or eliminate all of the threats and other problems that are around. You need to figure out some other way dealing with any blows or adverse events. Of course, we all know this about risk management and get all the acceptance and mitigate to acceptable levels. But the point is, you should always have at least extra buffer measure. The first measure you should always have is buying time. You should be able to let business as usual continue for a little while you can take a breather and take stock of what the situation is and then act on it. For crisis, I'm always explaining to people, I've once learned that jet fighter pilots, they don't react to the situations, they respond to situations. The thought, whenever something bad happens, they should just relax, take in the situation, and then normally rationally act to it. If you react to it, you might do the wrong thing. And it's the same with cyber resilience. You should be able to at least buy yourself some time. Maybe with all the company-wide kill switch, which is really bad, but you can switch everything down, but you bought some time. You can now figure out where some attacker might be or what is stolen or things like that. It would be even better to have hot or cold standby assistance, which which are not affected, or if you have a backup service, which that would be a lot better. But if you choose anything, choose at least something that buys you time and lets you respond to a situation instead of reacting to a situation. We've all seen a couple of times, probably in news, where either a mayor or head of police or maybe a CEO reacted totally wrong. They said something and then it turned out to be something different later on. The situation got even worse after that. And this is really the first thing you should do, is to buy yourself some time. This is what cyber resilience at the beginning is for me. The next thing is to have either options already available. So even if you don't buy, let's say, a hot standby system, at least have all the candidates available to you. So you don't have money out of pocket, but if something really is wrong and it didn't fit in within your plans, you don't have to start looking for candidates at that moment, because this is something you can do freely. Web storage first, you have Amazon, and then for instance, Amazon, there is something really wrong with it. And then you start suddenly, who can fix it? So you go Azure or Google, but how's the Azure dashboard work? Or how does Google, how do we transfer our backups in there? If those are all things you can do almost cost-free, you can play them out or write them down already. So that in that moment of crisis, that's not the thing that you have to do. The thing that you should be doing in crisis is work with that crisis. So put up a new data again in those buckets, or transfer your systems to those other VMs. The compatibility of those hypervisors is something you might want to know, or if you have serverless systems, can they just be converted? Those are all questions you can have prepared without even buying the service or actually doing it. You can do it small scale, just practice it. And if you combine that with buying time, you can actually quite rationally and cool and calm, collected, handle that crisis. But if you have to figure out those things at the moment when there's a crisis,